Welcome to the September 2025 meeting of the City of Reading's Historical Architecture Review Board. A full recording of tonight's meeting will be placed on the city's website after adjournment of the meeting. Chapter 295 of the City of Reading's Codified Ordinances requires the HARB be guided by the United States Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation and guidelines for rehabilitating historic buildings. Chapter 180, construction codes, and by any policies and or guidelines hereafter adopted by the board or the City of Reading. While meetings of the HARB are generally informal, Robert's rules of order are used to structure the proceedings and maintain decorum. The audio portion of these proceedings will be recorded for record keeping purposes. When the applicant hears their name, his or her property called by the chair, they should wait for the preservation officer to present the property summary and application proposal. Is there any meeting minutes from August 2025?
Are unfinalized were sent, so no.
I have a question. Does Suzanne have a template to go by for what the, can you give her one? Suzanne, would that work out for you? If Ms. Johnson gives you a template of what past meeting minutes look like, then you could use that as a.
You want that as the formula moving forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can give us those minutes to look at.
As
before
the draft.
Yes. I feel that Ms. Johnson might be, it's too much, I think the whole point is to relieve you from some of that.
She could put it into the template form, which would help, and then I can edit it and finalize it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think
If
the
she's willing
board,
to.
before you edit it and finalize it, I think the board should look at it too. So we can make sure that things that are in the, that we approve.
So the
and
team wants to look at the raw minutes.
Yeah,
And
I
then
would
we'll
like
tweak
that.
it. Okay, so right now, the way the process has been working is that after I get the meeting minutes through the draft ones, I send them to the executive committee as draft. So those are sitting there, and then I haven't received any feedback to make edits, but I can do that if that's what the committee would like to do.
I would
I
like
don't know that the whole team wants the raw minutes.
I
'Cause
don't want things to be
want-
missed.
But I also don't need 15 sets of edits.
Yeah,
Right,
So
right,
I need,
right.
concise.
what I saw from the drafts, I only looked at two.
Yeah, I only have to.
And I don't think they're usable in their current state, they need heavy editing.
Right,
And that's gonna take somebody with dedicated time that can sit down and go through it line by line, so whoever is doing that, I think ultimately will have that responsibility.
And if I can, and I have not looked at your minutes admittedly, but all you have to record are motions and actions. You don't have to do it word by word. I mean, if there's something you want to remember, you may want to put that in as a discussion for reference, but all you have to do is your action items.
And Ms. Johnson, you save these tapes?
Mhm.
So you have a tape for every meeting?
Yes.
That is, so if I need to pull up January of 2023, I can do that.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, I think that
But they,
is perfect.
they are not usable.
They are not your official minutes, correct?
Right.
And
If I needed to reference something, I could listen to this
does,
tape.
does the city keep the recordings indefinitely?
I think they do,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the better process would be, rather than listen to the tape, I think the tape should be destroyed once the minutes are approved and look at the recordings.
Okay,
I think that's a better way to do it. I mean, you of course, like the one we had last month where you did this, approve this, tonight that, recommend this, you want to make sure you caption all that, but you don't have to have a full discussion.
right.
If that simplifies the process.
Okay.
we'll see. Maybe. Yeah, I'm happy to put it in the template form as a starting point to like make it be word.
This is helpful, sure.
Okay. All right, first property on the tonight.
If I may just announce, we had 2 executive sessions for litigation. Oh, no, no. Oh, we had 2 executive sessions. The first date excludes me at the moment. But we had one today at 6 p.m. Does anybody recall the other date was an executive
It's
session?
September 3rd, I think.
So,
It was a
yes.
Wednesday, right? If it was Wednesday,
Yes,
it was
yes, September 3rd. So there are 2 executive sessions regarding litigation.
Oh, that was the Zoom one, okay. Okay, all right, first property on tonight's agenda is 431 Penn Street.
And the properties in question, I won't read the building description because they have been recently demolished, but they did hold composite index rating 433 to 84, and was a contributing structure in the Callow Hill Historic District. And tonight we are reviewing the proposal, or it's not proposal, sorry. We are having a discussion regarding action to be taken by the HARB regarding the violation of HARB resolution number 5324.
What's the date on that?
November. And that comes up. November 19th, 2024.
Yes.
Oh, but November what?
19th.
So if the board would like to consider authorization of issuance of a notice of violation to the property owner of the city of Reading for violation of said HARB resolution.
Can you say that again, please?
Would you like to consider authorizing a motion to authorize issuance of a notice of violation to the city of Reading as the owner of said properties 431 and 433 for violation of HARB resolution number 5324 and adopted on November 19, 2024.
So you're just asking for a yes or no?
I would ask, you would have to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Cody,
Yes.
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Mr. McDevitt,
Yes.
Mr. Paul.
Yes.
Okay. Next property on tonight's agenda is 433 Penn Street.
Oh, my
Oh, they're
apologies.
both item number one.
Yes.
It should be, yeah. Should be both properties.
I think that what I had recommended was doing both. I think
Oh, you
that's,
did say
I
431.
believe I did, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready. All right, next on tonight's agenda, item number 2. It's 445 Penn Street and 449 Penn Street.
This 445 Penn Street, the first building on the site was a stone tavern built in 1763. This later became the Federal Inn where George Washington stayed during his visit to Reading. The Farmers National Bank acquired the building in 1814 and converted it into a bank, which over the years became a familiar landmark of downtown Reading. The old Federal Inn came down in 1925 when the Farmers National Bank erected the present bank building. It is built of steel frame with brick curtain walls and granite facing on Penn Street. The floors and roof are of concrete. The Farmers National Bank went into receivership during the Depression and finally lost the property in 1935. And the structure received a composite index rating of 124 and is a significant contributing building in the Callow Hill Historic District. And 449 Penn Street. The Colonial Trust Company was established in 1900. Early in 1901, it purchased and demolished the Curtis and Jones building on the northwest corner of 5th and Penn Streets. L.H. Vogt and Son began construction for a 9-story office building later the same year, taking 2 years to complete. The building had its own steam and electric plants for heating and lighting, and the first tenants were able to move in 6 months before construction was actually completed. And 449 Penn Street received a composite index rating of 124 and is also a significant contributing building in the Callow Hill Historic District. And tonight we are reviewing, we're having a discussion regarding the action to be taken by the HARB regarding existing conditions and the preservation of the structures.
The specific discussion would be, does the HARB wish to authorize any action, including but not including an issuance of a notice of demolition by neglect? Noting the condition of the vaults, the roof and the veneer and the brick. I think it's the brick on 449. And any other issues that I may not have noted.
And so we have received information relative to these properties, structural engineers report from March 21st, 2022, identifying deficiencies at 445 and 449. They include photographs of failing structure under the sidewalk, failing brick veneer, parapet, moisture issues related to failing roofing. And we have heard from the city, and based on response to our request for documentation, that no permits have been issued for any maintenance or stabilization work for these buildings. And since the city has owned them, they have not undertaken any efforts to address the deficiencies or implement the recommendations identified.
ultimately, the idea is that they're not gonna hang on to these buildings much longer, that they wanna try and sell them to somebody that they can actually develop. So this is not something that the city is actually looking at this as being a long-term owner, as much as they truly are right now, a long-term owner of this building, both of these buildings, I should say.
Since 2013.
Correct.
12 years.
And with that being said, for someone, I guess the idea that we need to do is what would be the most critical things that need to be addressed on both these buildings. New roofs on both of them most likely would be for a starter, and the vault issue under the sidewalk at 445 would be, you know, just as much as important also as well, because those are severe failing issues that need to be addressed. One for safety of pedestrians on the sidewalk, and then the roofs, obviously, a fresh roof one is gonna help stabilize any other kind of issues that are going on within the building. So I think, again, the big area that's really a gray area of all this stuff is the fact that how much longer are they gonna hang on to these buildings? They shouldn't have had them as long as they had already. That's already besides the point, but you know, from this point forward, how much longer are they looking to hold on to these things?
Well, they're not even for sale, so they're the owners right now at the moment, and
Yeah,
that's where we go from.
yeah. So, I mean, it's basically to put them into a presentable way that they can actually get them into someone else's hands. I think the most critical issues that are needing addressing on both those buildings are the most paramount that we need to address at this point right now, more than anything else. And I mean, I think pretty much what we were talking about already, that is basically in a nutshell, but
Yeah, I think they determine what they're going, once the violation's issued. We don't put in the violation, you know, the different things that we feel need to be addressed, but. They'll have to take action on that and come and present it to us, and when
Yeah.
that time comes for a certificate of appropriateness. We'll have that discussion then.
now the veneer is coming off of 449, is that the way I'm understanding that? Is that building that we're talking about there?
Correct.
And
And that was the case in 20.
and the balconies, we have an issue with that also as well, on that building,
Balconies.
at the top of it.
I
You might
think
think
about
about
that.
parapets, maybe, or
Parapets, yes, so 449, the parapet was identified in the 2022 report. It is believed that moisture from the roof level is infiltrating into the exterior wall assembly, causing corrosion of the anchors of the veneer. And that's what's allowing that veneer to release from the structure. So it is an issue with the cladding that can be repaired, but has not been repaired. I believe that building warrants a full assessment. I think 2022 evaluation was not comprehensive. And that in order to properly maintain building and identify all the deficiencies, a study similar to the ones that were performed for 431 and 433 and 441 should be undertaken, and the corrections should be made.
Your if the board so desires, you could authorize issuance of a notice of demolition by neglect, noting that the following items, including but not limited to making it watertight, conducting a study, and addressing the faults.
Well, those are only the handful of issues that have been identified to date. I'm suggesting there may be other issues that have not been identified, but should also be identified and addressed.
Right, I'm just saying for the vote, so that you can identify the highlights and then let them say a study as well and have them bring a
Yeah,
study.
can we request this study?
You can recommend it, I don't request it, but you can recommend it.
Okay.
But immediate action should be the water tight of the roof and the vault to prevent future.
Can the motion be worded that immediate action be taken to, how do I say this, will address but prevent more. Destruction.
For the demolition by neglect, yes.
Okay. It can just be generalized, it doesn't have to be specific. But water. Keeping the building, the structure. Clear from more water damage. What are the, can we request a stabilization plan?
I don't know this, is that needed on these structures? I don't know.
It will be. With the roof, the way that it's,
But I think the areas of immediate concern are the ones that have been identified thus far. that have been
2022.
addressed, yes. There may be others, but I think the demolition by neglect violation is all encompassing, right? It's applying to the general maintenance and preservation of the entire structure, regardless of whether or not it has been identified to date. So, I don't know that we have to necessarily be specific in the notice, but I also don't want to be limited how the notice is identifying the issues.
Like you can at the fire study, but if there's certain things you wanna highlight, that you want them to take, you can. Including but not limited to.
The section of the ordinance does state that the written order shall specify the work to be undertaken and the date for compliance. Which that was one of my questions I had to you, Michelle, is how do you dictate the date of compliance when they have 30 days from the date of the receival? But we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
The applicant would have to come with a request for an extension in that case, right?
Yeah,
And maybe the worst, what I've done in some situations is if the work's not done, but a plan is submitted within that 30 days.
Yes, I think we've had certain situations like that. Not with the violation notice, but with. As long as there was activity. Or action taking place. All right, is there any more discussion on 445, 449 and straight? Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to issue a demolition by neglect notice for, should we do them separately or together? Sorry.
they're one parcel,
Okay,
so
so for 445, 449 Penn Street. For neglect to address issues that have been identified previously as matters of building deterioration and public safety. And detrimental to the ongoing preservation of these two structures, as well as any other issues that may also fit into that category. And that those can be enumerated based on the documents that we've received.
Do you want to provide a time for a plan or anything? So Ms. Johnson said they were typically provides a time to run a plan submitted within 30 days to address the issues.
The time frame that's typically applied to this type of violation, I would say should apply. Time frame that would be applicable for any city resident.
My recollection, Ms. Johnson, you said you never did it, so the number. There's no precedent as to for notice of demolition by neglect.
Say that again?
According to, there's no precedent for a notice of demolition by neglect.
Well, it's a violation notice, right? So our typical time frame is 180 days.
But because of the deterioration and neglect, I would recommend 30 to 60 days to come up with a plan of how to resolve this.
Yeah, I would
And
say
make sure that it doesn't continue.
that because of the size of the structures and the historical significance of the structures to the center city, that these buildings be preserved as quickly as possible,
I would,
being 60 days.
that they come, I would say, when you say 60 days, that's just for a plan of what they plan to do, or is that actual action that they're going to make?
I would say, put it on and say that's the actual action and let them come to us then and come to us with a plan.
I'm not sure if we're being specific in the motion of what we're asking them to do then in 60 days.
Well, 60 days is not enough time
All
to
right.
design, document, bid, and complete construction on the repairs. That may be beyond 180 days. And
My
we're
recollection-
going into a season
You
where,
don't think that we have any, there's a possibility that they're not gonna come to us in January and say, oh, these buildings have to come down.
that I don't know, but I
That's,
think the best case would be having a plan that can be presented to the HARB in 60 days. That would be a challenge in and of itself.
okay,
The ordinance says the preservation officer shall order the owner to repair, make watertight, preserve, and or protect such a building, structure, or object within 30 days following the receipt of a written order.
There you go.
Maybe say make watertight within 30 days and address, present a plan to make other remedies.
That's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
because there's no way they're gonna be able to do everything they need to do in 30 days. I like that recommendation.
The 30-day plan of making it watertight. And then, do you think they could come up with something in 60 days?
That may be temporary stabilization,
Yeah.
but I'll go back to my original comment, which is. The timeframe that's typically applied to any city resident shall apply to this motion.
30 days.
And that the applicant should be coming to us, there's further work to be done. To fulfill the requirements of this resolution, that it should be brought to the HARB for review and approval.
And that's 180 days though, right? You said?
Not
That
on the
timeframe
demolition.
is not specified.
Oh, okay,
We've never issued demolition by neglect, so
okay, so the 30 days then.
Right.
Yeah. should we start over?
I don't want to regurgitate.
I think it's the motion just with a time frame of 30 days.
Okay,
I'll second the motion.
all right, Ms. Cody,
Yes.
Mr. McDevitt,
yes,
Mr. Booth,
Yes,
Mr. Paul.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna ask to be excused and we.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. All right, let's move one here, what's the address for the Historical Society?
940
9:40. Did you approve that work that's being done in the back?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
for,
wow.
because it's in kind, yeah.
Yes, yep.
Looking pretty good too, I might add too.
is it?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of action going on. I was
Oh, yeah.
so happy. It was in bad shape back there.
They still have to do the back end of the building too, down the driveway, I think that's a separate project.
Okay,
Because they have to set all their, that's kind of gonna be, that's gonna be tough because of setting up your scaffolding and all that stuff to get up there.
right. All right, applications approved at staff level. You guys wanna take a look at those? Twenty-seven Wood Street.
That's
It's the rear of 124 South Fifth Street, where the board, well.
The car wash?
Yes, exactly.
I saw that vinyl went up, new vinyl at the bottom of the Abraham Lincoln,
So is that the
where the pharmacy was, they took up both windows.
127, is that the car wash outside the Smartico parking lot?
All right, does someone wanna make a motion to accept, applications approved?
I'll make it a motion to approve those. Approve the review of the application approved by staff.
Okay. Someone wanna second that?
I'll do it.
You'll second that?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McDevitt,
Yes,
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Mr. Politica,
Yes.
Miss Cody.
Yes.
Alright. Do we wanna review the previous HARB resolutions?
I don't have any updates.
Okay. Any report for education and outreach? Sure.
The Building Works Awards were on Tuesday night, the 9th. I wanna just let you guys know that David Barr and many other people from the building community are there, and they are talking to other people in those rooms about other things like structural engineers. So it's important, and there's a lot of questions that go around and a lot of comments as a HARB representative that I am hearing, so to echo your sentiments. So folks are in these rooms, and if we don't go to these rooms, then we're a non-entity, you know? I did talk to Mike Louder and Deb and Diane about, so you bought an old house. Definitely on board, wanting a date, looking for that, and door manage, so they're ready, you know, Center Park Historic District is ready for us to engage them with specific dates. If we have something to share with them. In October, our bar is going to be having a housing forum. It's just an FYI to let you guys know that. And also they are recognizing that there's some healing that needs to happen between our team and their team, and discussions are starting. They do agree that there needs to be some kind of a coming together, because there's the issue that we have about them not giving the information to the new homeowners. And then there's their issues with us, and the wall has two sides, just put it out there. David Barr is doing something in November with housing. I don't know what that is. He came to my office and talked to me about it in big details. Green Building Alliance is a big, hot and heavy initiative that the city is putting together right now, and they are aligning with a variety of housing initiatives around the community. So that might be something that we wanna check in with them about. They're starting to do a lot of presentations out in the community as well about what green building is, and of course, there's always the comment, the greenest building is the one that you have. So, just put it out there, there's potential alignments that we could be having in the community that is, again, about us being proactive rather than reactive by being put in a bad position. That's it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Are you going to put that information into the minutes?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that way I have it. I don't have time sometimes to write all that down during the meeting, but I wanna get more information from you on some of those events.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all that. That's good stuff. Policy committee report.
No report for this month, okay.
Is there motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, it's,
All in favor?
I said second, gotta be the whole favor.
Well,
Third.
We're still recording.
Third.